As the 19th century unfolded, the cultural landscape of Kenmore Square was undergoing a seismic shift.
The echo of punk music reverberated through the air, challenging the norms and giving voice to a generation disillusioned with the mainstream. At the forefront of this musical rebellion were bands like Dropkick Murphys, Mission of Burma, and Unnatural X, transforming the square into a breeding ground for punk rock. If we want to know more about it, we need to go back to the last century.
During the period from 1960s to the 1980s, the world experienced momentary changes. Science and technology flourished as humans were on the moon for the first time, and the first microcomputer was invented. Liberation of thought occurred as the Berlin Wall fell. Minority groups began seeking equality, and the Live Aid concert aimed at rescuing impoverished children was successfully held. However, with these advancements came turmoil and crisis. Economically, the United States experienced full recession in 1960 to 1961, 1969 to 1960, 1973 to 1975, and 1981 to 1982. Each recession was accompanied by high unemployment rates, reaching as high as 10.8% in November 1982. In the beginning of politics, the United States underwent a series of upheavals. President Kennedy was assassinated, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, the Cold War reached unprecedented scales, and President Nixon was forced to resign due to the Watergate scandal. People living in this era, aesthetically progressive-minded, newly emerged young students, felt there must be something wrong and experienced despair about life.
People back in the 70s and 80s saw a very lousy situation for themselves. There's no future for me. And so I'm going to write a song called No Future. And I'm going to yell and I'm going to make you uncomfortable. And they're trying to create a conversation, shake things up.
Coinciding with this, the U.S. government aggressively engaged in the Vietnam War, escalating it gradually. Massive numbers of people became discontented, joined movements against authority and established system, ultimately leading to the eruption of the counterculture movement.
Counterculture, just like the literal meaning, refers to a social movement or subculture that actively rejects or opposes the predominant cultural, social, and political norms of its time. It often emerges as a response to mainstream values, seeking to create an alternative way of life, express dissent, and challenge established authority. Counterculture movements can manifest in various forms, not only in music, but also in art, fashion, and lifestyle choices.
And it sounded like she sounded different from the other women, and the type of music was more direct. And I think when I was young, was searching for music that expressed my generation. And so before that, it was all sort of stuff from the 60s, and I couldn't really relate to it. So for punk rock, that was a new kind of music that I felt like was for my generation.
Consider the price and the location. There was a place that students chose to do counterculture work, a junction nearby Boston University, called Kenmore Square.
When people discuss the history of Kenmore Square, students were always considered as an important part of its success. Progressive students loved to hang out and do what they loved to do in Kenmore Square, making the square become a hub for rebellion, artistic expression, and political activism during the 1970s and 1980s. A lot of people discussed the reason why Kenmore Square attracts so many students who had the idea of counterculture. Some said it was located at a junction in the middle of several colleges, making students easy to get to. Some said the rent and price level was low, making poor students can afford them to do music. Some said the food there was delicious and helped with innovation of music.
However, almost all people mention a pub make Kenmore very unique. Rat Galler.
Rathskeller, which had been there for a very long time, which was sort of like I think the Rathskeller is a kind of a German thing that's for like a bar in a university. It's kind of like a university bar, and the rat comes from the Rathskeller, which is sort of what they call a bar that's in a university. So I think it was the students. I think it was the student thing was what made it the hub. Yeah.
The Rat Galler, also known as The Rat, was a basement club in Kenmore Square operating from 1974 to 1997. Lots of people describe the club as dark, dingy, and delightful, but it shows an incredible inclusiveness. Thanks to that, bands got a chance to perform and people got a chance to learn more about the idea of counterculture. The Rat not only birthed punk in Boston, but became a culture institution. Many bands started from here, got inspired from here, grew from here, became big from here, even break it up from here.
In the dance of urban evolution, Kenmore Square underwent a profound transformation. It began with the vibrant plus of the Rat, a music venue resonating with revelry. As time played, its melody changed, quietly stepped in, bidding favor to the Rat and making way for something new. The transition wasn't just about replacing the old, it responded to Kenmore Square evolving needs. Out of the Rat's footprint emerged Hotel Commonwealth, an elegant symbol of elevation. This shift wasn't merely erasing the past, but a deliberate move to transform the square economically and culturally. Hotel Commonwealth became more than a hotel, it anchored a diverse cultural tapestry, signaling a new era of sophistication. Working through Kenmore Square today, echoes of both the Rat and Kenmore Square persist. The vibrations isn't confined to the luxury of the hotel, embodies the evolving spirit of the square that seamlessly blends history with contemporary aspirations. This intentional shift reflects a vision for Kenmore Square, a testament to urban resilience, adaptation, and an enduring spirit that remains an iconic stage in Boston's ever-evolving narrative.
Kenmore Square's counterculture, once vibrant and rebellious, now rests quietly, becoming a relic of a bygone era. However, like whispers in the wind, opinions diverge on whether the rebellious spirit strives or wanes. The vibrancy of counterculture might hide somewhere or strive into new forms, where Kenmore Square leaves the question of counterculture open-ended.
That's when Square.